And we're back, and we're still with Charles EMEKA, author, speaker, everything really. And you're in a great place now. When did the change come?
I came out of prison in 2003. I then went to university.
So you didn't go back?
When you're locked in a cell for 23 hours a day.
Solitary?
No.
Okay.
Sharing a cell with somebody that you don't know. Sharing a toilet.
Open?
Of course. That's what people won't tell you. 60 to 70% of people inside are on some form of medication. At nighttime, we hear screaming, wailing, howling of people that can't cope anymore. The hour of exercise we used to get, we just used to walk around the courtyard. That was all you do, just walk around the edges for 1 hour and then back in. The food you're eating is cooked by prisoners. So when you then get the opportunity to be free, you don't take it for granted. For somebody that has something in their psyche.
We have a caller. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Kemi and I'm calling from Essex.
Okay, how are you doing, Kemi?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, Charles is your... Charles
I
is all there
just
for you.
want to add my voice to Charles' voice.
Okay.
With this epidemic, it's obvious parents need to do more. And you've just summarized the whole saga. If the seed is not there, what can the children grow on? And what we're seeing today is just an evidence of disintegration between so many families. It doesn't mean that they are broken or they are not together, but there's so many people who are living in the same house. They are present there, but they are absent. I call them the presently absent parents. You know, they don't know what their kid is up to. And this is particularly more becoming an issue within the Yoruba clan, especially. And I'm just adding my voice to your voice to say we need to trace our steps back. And if it's taking 10, 15 years to get to where we are, we can imagine how long it's going to take us to get things back in order. So there's no room for any procrastination than just to go out of our way, compromise where we have to, and just make these children, it's so sad. It's so sad. And like you rightly said, the police can hardly, they can't do anything for us.
They can't.
Because they can only prosecute. But to get these children off the streets, to then get them back into making a future for themselves, it is us, we parents, that, I mean, the biological parents now, that needs to step in the shoes and begin to take our responsibility very seriously. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I think she's kind of like echoed.
Absolutely. You have to confront to overcome. Do not stop this denial. God will do it. Faith is action, practical action. Facing the reality, not this, oh, you're hanging with bad people. No, your child too. You may not know your child.
And you live in every day.
Live in the same house. We used to wear earrings. You can see my ear. I used to wear 2. Get to the front door, take them out, put it in a pocket, come into the house. Good evening, mommy. Good evening, daddy. Get outside on the street. I'm a monster. People are scared of me at home because it's our culture.
So what should parents look out for? What are the indices?
Language. Every time you open your mouth, you advertise what's going on in your brain. You can't fake it too long. But when you say, not my child is a good... Have you not noticed every time somebody dies, the parents say he was a good boy. He was going to be an engineer. He was going to be a doctor. Very rarely. There is something called joint enterprise. There is also something called hanging around the wrong people.
Hold your thoughts for a second, Charles. Yeah. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Tola.
Hi, Tola. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, what's your contribution today, Tola?
Hi, Charles.
Hello, boss. How are you?
I'm good. Yes, I wanted to just add to what Charles was saying because it is so true. You know, like children are one way outside and then when they get home, yes, they're totally different. And I had a conversation with some young people and one of the things that they said is a lot of parents are in denial.
Yep.
And a lot of parents don't know their children. At home, they're one thing. As soon as they get outside that door, there's something else.
Yep.
And I remember out of one of the recent victims that have lost their lives, God rest in peace. But what I did hear was one side they were saying the boy was very good. And some of the young people that I speak to, they were saying that same boy was in a video on Snapchat and posted. So let's say he's from one area, he was in another area that was not his area, posted a Snapchat video and said, yes, Indians about to purge.
Yep.
Now, we all know what purge is if we watch purge movies.
It's about to kill someone, about to hurt someone, about to wet someone.
Language.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Tola.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
See you later.
So so parents should look out for language.
Parents have to just get real.
You said there's a 5-year period you spent in Nigeria.
Yes.
Which totally kind of like, and some parents would probably, I would say, no, you know what? I have to be where my child is going.
I hear you.
So I would struggle
to let your child go.
to let my child go.
Your child is in a worse situation now than that thing you're struggling with. Your child is in a gang. Your child represents a particular postcode. Your child represents a particular group of people.
If I know.
If you know.
Exactly.
So when I was saying to people, send your child back to Africa, send your child to Caribbean, you already know that there is a problem.
And how do you do that?
There are some children that are afraid. They are afraid. But they can't leave the gang, because if they leave the gang, that could be the end of their life anyway. But you can appeal to them. It could even be, let's just go on holiday. But you can't just stop and be hoping that something miraculous is going to happen. Your child still has to leave your house every day.
And go out.
Children are being killed at school gates, being attacked at school gates, being attacked in the shopping mall. We're telling them, oh, leave your friends. But if they don't have new friends or they don't have a new opportunity, they're just going to keep doing the same thing. Some people say, oh, move outside of London. That is a possibility. But I also know young people, they move outside of London and they just get the train back because they still want to be with their friends.
Especially if they're earning $5,000 a week.
Absolutely. Some people, it needs drastic measures. You don't have a year. You really don't. Look at how many people have been killed in the last month.
So can we safely say that the bulk of this problem is gang related?
Yes. In gangs are entrepreneurs just selling the wrong product.
And some of the victims are perhaps connected, maybe not directly, but maybe not, but connected maybe through family, through membership.
The boy that was killed in Tulse Hill last week.
Yes.
From the conversations I had, they said they will probably never ever find the person that killed him because he had so many enemies.
How old was he?
15.
At 15.
But he's been operating since he was 11. And it just started as small.
So if you were to, if the community, because it's now clear the police are very limited in their powers.
Majorly limited.
If you were in government, what kind of policy? Let's think of policy right now.
Okay.
Is there a policy?
For a season,
yes,
stop and search needs to come back in its full effect, even though it's racial. I would rather you offended me racially and I stayed alive. For a season, stop and search. Any person.
A policeman was beaten up last week.
Absolutely.
It was videoed.
Absolutely.
So they're beating the police now.
They're beating the police.
Next thing they'll kill some.
Absolutely. For a season, they need to be shaken to their core. It needs to be hard for them. They can't be comfortable. These guys are doing this in broad daylight now. They're doing it in shopping malls.
In front of tube stations.
They're doing it in tube stations. They're doing it in front of CCTV. There is a boldness.
Anytime I see mopeds now, I'm like, what's happening here now?
Absolutely. It's a different time. And we're not for police brutality. but there needs to be more raids are taking place. Police need to also be going more to people's houses and saying, here's evidence, here's evidence, here's evidence, this is what your son is up to. Some parents need to be confronted with the truth.
No matter how bitter it is.
No. Your child is a gang member. And he's not being led in the gang, he's the leader.
The church. Does the church have a role in helping?
The church has a role if they have the right people in the church.
And I say the church because obviously in our community there's a bigger presence of the church, but I don't know, or any religious, there could be mosques.
There's a bigger presence of the church, but if that person has no experience or understanding, it is not for him to lead it. Our churches are too personality driven. But if you are, and like I said the other day, it's not about bringing them to church. It is about the church going to them. They're not coming to your churches. They see some of those young boys, they see your church not in a good light. You have to go to the streets. The streets are not coming to church.
Wow. We're going in a second on Charles. We're going to keep Charles for an hour. you have to try. So we're going on a break right now, and the program is still For the Record, and we'll see you in the next segment.